There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. Yes, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. How are you, Alexa?
I'm
Fantastic. I got to tell you, I was a little bit honored that my first day ever working with WWE was the day you won the title, and I was sitting in catering when you came back with the title and kind of like watched you absorb the moment. But what did it feel like walking in your shoes?
yeah, it was such a crazy moment, and it was really cool. And I remember seeing you in catering and talking to you for a little bit. That was great.
Well, yeah, I had to find out the most important issue of the day was whether or not you were actually Jewish, and I sadly learned that you are not.
I've been asked that question so many times. Like, I really have, and it's clearly my last name. Like, I've been asked that so many times. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm here to tell all the other Jews that unfortunately we cannot claim Alexa. We could try. Maybe we'll luck out and you'll marry a Jew. We don't know. But as of right now, she is not Jewish. But yes, I guess the last name Kaufman is what started that rumor. By the way, I did not realize that was your last name, and that's why people are saying that. But so you are SmackDown Women's Champion. Did you ever think it would happen this quickly?
No, I didn't actually. I was really shocked when I became SmackDown Women's Champion. I had just trying to kind of find my way on the main roster, transitioning from NXT. And, I'm just having so much fun, and it's just a whole nother ball game. And it's an amazing last 5-6 months that I've been here. And I'm just so happy.
How badly did you want to do this? Was this like day one dream for you? Take us through a little bit of Lexi, the kid.
Well, I'd always watched wrestling when I was younger. I'd watched it up until the Attitude Era, and I wasn't allowed to watch it at home anymore because I had told my mom when she told me to clean my room that I had 2 words for her. And that didn't go over very well.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, I've got 2 words for you. You're grounded. And I was like, no, that's not how it goes.
You're ruining it, Mom. You don't know anything about DX.
You don't know. And so I started watching it at my grandmother's house without my mom knowing. And so there, I just kept watching wrestling, and me and my cousins, I have so many cousins, big Italian family. We would all pretend that we were wrestling in a blow-up pool that had no water in it. And, my cousins were the Hardys, and I would always pretend that I was either Trish or Rey Mysterio because, I looked up to them so much. I loved watching Rey Mysterio because I was a gymnast at the time. And, his lucha style was something that really captivated me, and I thought it was, like, really, really cool. Fast forward through after college, I heard that WWE was having a tryout. And
where'd you go to school, by the way?
University of Akron.
Okay.
And I cheered there, and yeah, I was doing the bodybuilding thing. I just got my pro card, and I was looking for something, else to accomplish. And I heard that WWE was having a tryout. So I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I'd watched this growing up, and I never thought that, it was something that I could actually try out to do, like I never knew about like wrestling schools or anything like that. And so when I saw the WWE was having a tryout, I went online, and there was a link, and it said, do you want to be a WWE superstar? And I said, yes, I do. So I clicked on the link, and it said like send in a video and do all these things. And so I sent in a video, ended up earning a tryout, which was really great. And then ended up making it and started with NXT about 4 years ago now. And now I'm SmackDown Women's Champion.
Well, and real quick, and I want to add, by the way, that you can see the SmackDown Women's Champion defend her championship at Madison Square Garden every year around this time. It stinks for me because I always miss it because I'm originally from DC, so I go home during the holidays. But the one year I got to stay, it's so fun. The WWE Live Holiday Tour is always here over the holidays. So December 26th, you'll defend the title against Becky Lynch. John Cena's on that card as well, as is Randy Orton, American Alpha. A steel cage match between Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Nikki, Natalya, and Carmella having a three-way. There's a lot going on. Kalisto and Baron Corbin. Anyways, but one of the things I think is interesting when you mention how long you've been around is that because of when you went up to SmackDown in the draft, people think of you as sort of being brand new, when really your time with the WWE goes back in a similar fashion that it does the horsewomen. I mean, you've been around for several years now.
Yeah. I even remember being there. I remember seeing Becky's first day. I had been there for a while before Becky came in. When I started, Sasha and Charlotte and Bailey were there, and I was there back when it was still in Tampa, FCW, and I've basically learned from those girls, and I started brand new, and I've been in with the company for about 4 years now, and I guess it's kind of cool because if people don't expect me, I like the surprise factor.
Yeah,
I like showing them.
You surprised me. You surprised you. When SmackDown started, I was like, well, after the brand split and this new version of SmackDown that we've seen over the last several months started, I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know that much about Alexa Bliss and Carmella, and if they're ready for this. And you look different, and you're just not used to seeing people. And you're in a women's division on SmackDown where you're next to veterans like Natalya and Nikki Bella and Naomi, etc. And now here we are a few months later, and not only do you have the SmackDown Women's title, but you seem completely ready and deserving. My favorite thing about you is, and I feel okay using this word because it did get used on WWE television just a couple weeks ago, but your bitch face is one of the best I've ever seen in wrestling. Did you is your facials and the things that you do, which is a big part of being on television, especially when you're performing in big arenas, is that something that you worked on in NXT, or is it something that the acting, that part of really expressing yourself big, has that always been a part of who you are?
Well, what's funny is when I started in NXT, I was so uncomfortable in front of a camera, so uncomfortable in front of people, and we worked with Dusty Rhodes, and he would tell me, you got to be more expressive, show your body of work, and it was something that I worked on, but I didn't really work on my facial expressions until I started with Blake and Murphy. When I started with Blake and Murphy, I was still, this little bubbly person that wore tutus and blue glitter, and I mean it's come full circle now, but back then it was, I was in my mind this little Disney little princess kind of person, and I was very shy. I wasn't very expressive, and joining with Blake and Murphy allowed me to really, discover that, because with them, I was, their manager, or, well, I would like to call myself a third member of the team, but, I was able to really, work on living in the moment, opposed to doing that during a match or anything. It was a great transition for me, and being with the boys has helped me tremendously, and I wouldn't be the Alexa Bliss I am now if it weren't for them.
Who on the current SmackDown roster do you look to, both guys and girls? Do you look to for guidance or feedback?
I really like to talk to Kevin Owens. He's so great with just being this mean person on TV, and AJ Styles, Natalya, anybody that's been there before me that I've watched, it's great. And Natalya always has great feedback for us because she's been there for so long. And I remember Natalya gave me my first headlock takeover, and now I'm on the same brand as her, and that's amazing. And yeah, and she had always helped me with everything, even with NXT, where my matches, she would text me and give me feedback on the matches, and I thought that was so awesome of her, and yeah, those are probably the people that I always kind of look for guidance, because they've all made names for themselves and paved the way for all of us. And I think it's great.
If you can do away with Becky, who is obviously going to be chasing her title back, if you could do away with Becky, who else is out there that you really would love, if you could fantasy book, that you would love to get to work against?
On the roster currently?
Yeah.
Probably Nikki Bella.
Really? Why do you want a shot at Nikki?
Because she has established herself as such a dominant woman in this whole, WWE universe, and I would love a shot at Nikki Bella. And I don't know, she's just always that one person I've always wanted to face.
Well, and I'm sure she would love to face you, because I know she's the longest reigning Divas champion, and I know she would love to be the women's champion.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen, but I would love to have her.
Well, I will tell you, and don't repeat any, just between me, you, and our listeners, I was with her as you won the title. And, I definitely think that there was she definitely seemed to feel that you were deserving. And I think it would be really interesting to see what you guys look like. And also, we don't know how long we're going to have Nikki. She came back from a really, really serious injury. There's no way of knowing how long we'll have her. So I would love to get to see that as well. What about not on the roster? Is there anyone else who's not currently on SmackDown that you would love to face?
Oh, Trish Stratus. Absolutely.
Really? Would you hold on. So would it be like the ultimate dream if you could just call out Trish Stratus over and over again until you get her out of retirement and get to face your childhood hero?
Exactly. That would be my plan. I would just keep trying and trying and trying. I would love to face Trish. I would loved it. Oh my God.
All right. So you're starting right now. Here's what you have to do. In every interview you do, you have to just say that you want Trish Stratus until she has to answer. I know she's busy doing fitness stuff and being a mom. She's still in fantastic shape, though. I see no reason why this couldn't happen.
Oh yeah, she's in incredible shape. Oh my gosh, I can't even.
Were you able to? The wrestling business is a confusing, interesting place that is very hard to explain to people who don't understand it. How much were your friends? Maybe, I'm sure at this point your family gets it more because you talk to them all the time. But how much are your friends and other people you're close with able to understand just how meaningful it is that you won the SmackDown Women's Championship?
Oh, they've seen, they really appreciate it. When I actually just went home for the first time in 3.5 years last week, and I got to see my friends, and I've had my old cheer coaches, they were crying, and everyone's seen what I've gone through to get to this point, whether it was before the WWE. I'd struggled with an eating disorder and relearning, getting all my strength back to be able to perform and cheer, and the bodybuilding world. And my best friend Kaylin saw me, when I first came here to WWE, when I was in NXT, I was covered in bruises. I was hurting all the time. I was there's ups and downs, and, that comes with this business. And she knows how much it really means to me. And she was the first person to text me and call me and tell me how proud of me she is. And then she ended it with, "I still don't know why people want to know you, because I don't think you're really that cool." And so, thanks, Kaylin.
Are you currently working in a dog shelter as we speak?
I'm not, but I have 2 little dogs that are really loud and yappy. I apologize.
What are your dogs' names?
Outside. Teddy and Izzy. They see a squirrel outside and they're like going nuts.
They are. Where do you live, by the way, most of the time?
Orlando.
So okay, that keeps it relatively easy. Well, listen, I am very excited to see where this goes. You can see Alexa, of course, every week on SmackDown, and you can see her right here at Madison Square Garden, December 26th for the WWE Live Holiday Tour. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Congratulations! Excited to talk to you more as the months and years go on and see how this Alexa Bliss story plays out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Thank you, brother.
No doubt. Thanks, Alexa. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
By the way, I didn't realize you have the reverse problem. You were Alexis, and you're now Alexa. My wife is Alexa and just gets constantly called Alexis.
Oh, really?
It never stops. Like, I don't know, for some reason, people default, I feel like, go Alexis over Alexa. And now you're going to be
Oh,
stuck in this middle ground where it's like, do you correct people when, you know what I'm saying? Because your name's almost the same, but not.
yeah. I've been called all three. I've been called Lexi, Alexa, Alexis, by everybody on the roster, and I never correct them. 'Cause it's so
There's
close.
no point. Guys,
Yeah, it's like Natty and Natalia.
guys, thank you. Happy holidays.